going to talk about why I think trying to appear classy is a load of BS. I honestly feel true class is learning how to adapt to your environment, how to adapt to the people that you're surrounded with, and not walking about all hoity-toity with something stuck up your ass, making you think that you're better than other people. Now, someone might be listening to this and be like, oh my god, she's obviously jealous, or, you know, she wishes she could. No. There are some people that behave as if they shit diamonds, and I'm also going to add this here. Swearing is not what I think class is. I know it's something I need to work on. Okay, I know. There's no need to swear. So that's my bad. But I think what happens is people have forgotten what actual class is, and I've seen so much hypocrisy in my life where you can meet the classiest person and they are the furthest thing from that. I think ultimately class is about showing respect, showing gratitude, and showing compassion and consideration to the world around you. That's what I think true class is, and I have countless examples, and so I get really like about it when I see people think with TikTok especially now that it's an aesthetic, dressing like old money. I get it, cool, dress like old money if you like it, if you think, if it's fun for you, if it feels natural to who you are and all of that, go ahead, whatever, I don't care. But if people think that just dressing like that is what makes you classy, or by knowing how to, I don't know, eat a cheese board. What is happening with my voice? Eat a cheese board properly. Like, I'm not going to deny it. I think there are some skills which are important to have in life. Absolutely. Know how to hold a conversation. Know how to make eye contact. Know how to listen. Know how to, try and keep your elbows off the table. Obviously, things are more casual now. I put my elbows on the frickin' table. But there are just fundamental things like that you do out of respect. Don't leave your phone on the table when you're eating. You know, don't, especially if you're with other people, put it away. Don't be on your phone while someone is talking to you. It's a case of consideration and respect. Gratitude. When you practice those things, it's hard to go wrong. And having been in many positions where perhaps I've had to level up on how classy I am, the best thing, the classiest thing, honestly, that you can do is be playful and open-minded about it. If you eat somebody's bread by accident, apologize, of course apologize, and then get them a replacement. And if they're like, no, don't worry about it, and they laugh it off, that shows class on their part. Now obviously if you've done it intentionally, don't do that. Don't do that unless you're trying to piss them off. But it's about showing good intentions for people. That's true class, or at least what I perceive true class to be. And the reason I say this is because I see this split between, I do believe fundamentally these people that are teaching about etiquette and about class, they're leading with the whole, we want to level up, we want to make people their best selves or better versions of themselves. So I respect that there is that element to it, and I love and respect and sorry, I've already said that part. I love and I admire that. But I feel like there's also a side to it where it's like, rather than trying to actually level up and be a better person, it's become about showing that you're leveling up and showing that you're a better person. And that's why I say, like, real class is not an aesthetic. It's not. You don't need to be wealthy financially in order to be classy. in order to practice good etiquette. You know, if you make a mistake, I feel like this, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong in all of this, but I think at the same time, even if I am wrong, I'm entitled to my opinion. And my opinion is that I think there's this sort of judgmental gaze that I feel and that I've witnessed from people that practice and pursue the teaching of elegance and etiquette, which I respect because I want to believe, and you know, for the most part I do believe that their intentions are, we want you to live the best life that you can, and this is a stepping stone to doing that. And I learn too, like there are things where it's like, you know what, I would like to learn how to lay my cutlery after I'm done eating, or you know, I never quite refined that skill of how to drink champagne properly, or you know, which spoon is for what, or I don't know, conversational etiquette, or there are, I do agree with learning I do agree with the aspects that are to do with respect. And you know, like if you are in a situation where you're with, say, fancy people, or even if not, knowing how to adapt to that, it's a skill, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I don't judge that. But I don't think that it's appropriate to I don't think it's necessary to gatekeep, and I don't like, I think privacy is important, and I value privacy, but when it becomes about not wanting other people to win, or when it becomes about showing that because you've done all of this and now you're like seemingly better than someone that hasn't had the awareness or the exposure to understand these things, I don't find that to be classy whatsoever. I think it's actually very hypocritical. And if I'm brutally honest here, the reason I have a general distaste for so-called etiquette class things is, you know, maybe this is just my Aquarius moon coming through. Again, I want to reiterate, there are a lot of class etiquette things that I totally respect, and I see where it's coming from, and when they're in alignment, like I said, with being considerate and respectful and grateful and all of that towards the environment, like that I fully wholeheartedly agree with, and those are values that I wish to sort of imbue like further hone within myself, and like I want to level up too in that aspect, and I want that in my kids. You know, there will be certain etiquette things that I will teach them, to be frank, there is this association that, you know what's that saying? Something about money can't buy class? Yeah. And I think we all, we know that, but I also mean it in the sense that there are people where you would perceive them to be classy because of the way that they dine, because of the way that they hold a conversation with an elderly person, or when, you know what, when it matters societally, or socially, when there's actually something at stake, but behind closed doors, their etiquette is not quite what you would expect it to be. In fact, it's the absolute opposite, and they have no morals. So I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. All I'm saying is I've seen a lot. And when I see stuff online about women that are so-called leveling up and trying to teach other women how to level up, and yet they're gatekeeping their stuff, and also have like an air of superiority, and there's this thing of like women should this and should. I really feel that real class is also grace. It's grace. It's letting people live and appreciating people for who they are and where they're coming from. Rather than focusing on this negative thing, I want to highlight a story to you. I was on a bus a few months ago and I had my headphones on. Socially, I have had, I guess you could say, I'm not going to say the training, but I've had experiences that would qualify me to be a classy person, or a person who is wise to social etiquettes and whatnot, right? I have my headphones on. I'm on the bus, preoccupied with God knows what on my phone. I look up as we've stopped and there are people getting on the bus, and there is a man, I don't know, maybe in his 40s, 50s, who was clearly very disabled, and I didn't think much of it. I think he had a carer behind him. I look back down, back on my phone. I look back up after about 2-3 seconds because I realized there is a woman sat in front of me. I was sat on the side of the bus, on the seats that on the seats that you're meant to give up if somebody elderly or pregnant or less able comes on board. I had a suitcase at the time, actually, and it was a long journey. And I look up and this woman, just judging appearance-wise and how she was talking, because I took my headphone off. She was with her son, who was probably in like 14, 15 years old, something like that. They were also sat in the seats that you give up. She gets up and she's talking to the disabled guy. And I look and he's having a sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't want to say meltdown, because I think that's like, I don't know if that's the right, fair, politically correct word to use, but he was basically just having a really hard time. He didn't know what to do, where to go. His carer was trying to help him. There were more people behind them trying to get on the bus. And this woman saying, like, she's saying to him, "Come here, darling, come sit here, it's okay, come and sit." And I watch it, and she, in a bus full of people, quiet people, she was the only one that got up and gave him her seat. She got her son to get up too, so that the carer could sit with him. It should also be noted that she had crutches. She was clearly very injured herself. She came and she sat next to me with her son, and I just saw it, and it was just this big old smack in my face. And I really hope, for the world's sake, that it was a smack in the face, that it was a smack in the face for not just me. I don't think that I need to say much else. It's great if you know how to sit, how to hold yourself, how to, I don't know, dine, all these different etiquette things, how to style your hair, wear your nails, or, you know, whatever. Even if it isn't just superficial things, it's great. What's your etiquette like when perhaps no one's watching? what's your etiquette like when there's an opportunity to do the right thing? It didn't even cross my mind. It didn't even cross my mind. And a lady who is in crutches, the first thing she did was get up and help that man. It speaks volumes, I think. So, my main message here is, when it comes to etiquette in class, trust me, I know I have a way to go, I guess, with that whole, like, being more, I guess, polite and whatnot, not swearing, presenting myself in a certain way, yada yada. I get it. But I want to mention that I think sometimes people lose sight of what true class is. They get caught up in the, how do I look to other people? How am I presenting? Is this socially acceptable? They get caught up in that they forget the most simple, human, fundamental, cool things that every single human should have or needs, like kindness, grace, compassion. So I guess I just wanted to come here and have a little rant, but also remind everybody that true etiquette is not how you dress. It's not how you speak. It's not where you're from. It's not what your, I don't know, what your hair looks like, or your bank balance looks like, or how many swear words come out of your mouth. It's how you treat people. It's how you treat people. At least in my perspective. That's it for now. Let me know your comments down below. Your thoughts, your takes, your perspectives. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Yeah. I'm curious to see if in 10 years I disagree with myself, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.